but our energy will remain intact. Whether it's a summer or cold, we'll always be there in the service of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do some Jai Radha Madhav quickly to purify ourselves, and then we'll go to discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Radha Madhav Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhav Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiro Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhav Kunj Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ramo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
I go, Sisi Premanandi. Thank you once again for coming on Saturday. So, we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, but before that, we will invoke the prayer to purify ourselves. Om Ajnanatimirandhatso Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadatishya Padantikam Mandeham Sri Gurum Sri Jitapada Kamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavangsha Sri Rupam Shagra Jatam Shagana Raghunathan Nitam Tang Swajivam Swadaitam Swadaitam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Galitas Vishakanitam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Kacharini Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschabda Deshotarini Vanchakalpataruvasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Papanebhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. So we are reading, I think after some of the weeks we just discussed some of the different themes, but after some time we are discussing now Srimad Bhagavatam. Is there anyone who has a doubt what is Srimad Bhagavatam and what is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? I guess everybody knows, right? What is Srimad Bhagavatam? So we know that Prahlad Maharaj in Canto 7 talks about that there are 9 processes of bhakti: Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padashevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasham, Shakham, Atmanivedanam. But among them, the Sravanam and Kirtanam, Vishnu and Smaranam is the most important thing, right? We always scriptures emphasize on the hearing. Now, Sravanam and Kirtanam goes side by hand in hand. So it's like, for example, when you are doing chanting, we see chanting, you also have to hear it, hear the every syllable. So, and when you doing the Kirtanam, then also audience should be attentively here. So Sravanam and Kirtanam, these two process should go inside hand in hand. And when you say Kirtanam, there are 4 types of Kirtanam means glorification, right? There are 4 types of glorification. One is Nama Kirtan, Guna Kirtan, Rupa Kirtan, and Lila Kirtan. There are 4 things that each and everything has got its own equal potency to develop the devotional service. So today we are going to discuss about, so Srimad Bhagavatam actually contain all the 4 things, Nama Kirtan, Guna Kirtan, Rupa Kirtan, and Lila Kirtan. Now, my Guru Maharaj says that there are 3 types of hearing. First, nothing going inside. So it's somebody saying and we are thinking something. And second is something is going inside and it's going out also. And the third, the most effective one is that it's going inside and it is, instead of going out, it is entering into the heart, purified. So we should try to do the third one as much as possible. Of course, it's a Kali Yuga, as much as the possible. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Kanarandhra patra diya হৃদি মাঝে প্রবেশিয়া ভরিষায় সুধা অনুপম কৃষ্ণ নাম ধরে কত বল. Krishna's নাম রূপ গুণ, these all those qualities, his beauties, his name, his pastimes has so much potency that it goes inside the heart and it actually Borishai Sudha Anubhava means it showered the nectar to our soul. Srinatam Shakatham Krishna Punasravana Kirtana Hidayantarastha Avadrani Vidunati Shutim Shana means all the avadra, all the impurities goes away. Now question may come, okay, this is Kali Yuga, right? Everybody forgets. Even 1 week before, whatever we hear, hardly we remember. That's the Kali Yuga symptoms. I mean, everybody is in the same plane. Mando sumando madaya mando hadoi poduta. We are so disturbed. We are so short memory and all. It's very difficult, right, to remember. Then is there any effect? So I think last time His Grace Amritari Prabhu gave a very nice example. That a father asked a boy to bring a bucket filled up with water from, but that bucket has got a hole and the bucket is very dirty. So the father asked a boy to bring it and the boy brought the water. By the time the boy came to father, it's all the water went away, right? So father said, okay, try again. But every time it's happening, the water is going out. Boy asks, what is the use? But father said, you see, so much dirt was there in the bucket, now it is getting washed. You see, it's getting clean. Even if the water is not staying, even if it is entering in one hole and it is going out, even if we are not able to remember 1 week before what it's going, it's cleaning our heart. Slowly it is cleaning our heart. That is what scripture says. By the way, I think we all know who is Amritari Prabhu. He's like our ISKCON Calgary version of Sukadev Goswami, I will say. Whenever he speaks, like so much nectar, and I just think, oh, such a wonderful example. Okay, yeah, and just like just like remembering those examples, so convincing example. It's so nectarian. Is हिंदी में एक कहावत है, I don't know if you know. जब बात करते हैं ना तो लगता है मोती झरता है, the nectar is coming out. Anyway, Thank you for your association.
When you are speaking.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so that is the potency of that hearing. So never think that we can't remember, we forget. Even if you forget, even if you don't remember, even if you don't realize everything, still you are spending your time to come here 1 hour to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is so nectarian. That is so nectarian. Thank you once again for coming. And I hope even winter is on our door, we will still continue to have the same Saturday morning program. Okay, so today we are reading from chapter 4, as Kanai Thakur has told us. So instead of going verse by verse, we will take a theme, which is a combination of some verses grouped to a particular theme. So he has given a theme. Last time I think 1.4.1 has been discussed. Now it is 1.4.2 to 12. This is basically the inquiry of Shaunaka Muni to Shuddha Goswami. Now, the 2 to 12 is just too long verses. So when I was seeing that there are so many things, so in the Bhagavatam Subodhini, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu has subdivided it into parts. So maybe we can go by that subdivision, and we will try to see whatever we can cover, and then next speaker we can continue. Instead of skipping the verses, let's do whatever we can cover. So how the subdivision looks like is that the first verse, which is 1.4.1 and 2, is actually the Shaunaka Muni is glorifying Shuddha Goswami. And then from third verse, it talks about the history of Srimad Bhagavatam, how Srimad Bhagavatam came. And then from 4 to 8, it actually talks about the Shukadev Goswami. And then 9 to 13, 12 is actually talks about Parikshit Maharaj. Why Parikshit Maharaj, having such a wonderful kingdom and everybody so pious, he left everything and started hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So basically, you know that in our culture, or Vedic culture rather, it's not a one-sided lecture. It's not a do or don'ts. Okay, I will give you 10 commandments and you follow it. That's it. It's not that. It starts with the inquiry. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now that you have got human form of life, you should ask yourself, who am I? What is the purpose of life? Until unless you don't have that inquiry, you cannot understand the spirituality. It's not matter of by force or fear or some bribe we can actually inject it. It comes with the inquiry. It said, right, that you can drag the horse near to the pond, but you cannot make him to drink water until unless that horse feels thirsty by itself. So the thirst should come from our own heart. When the thirst is generated, there are scriptures, there Srila Prabhupada's institution, ISKCON is there, Guru Maharaj are there, GBCs are there, disciples are there, devotees are there to help you out. But that cry should come from inside. The search should come from the inside. So we can see that here, Shaunak Muni actually, who is the most aged and the learned in the Naimisharana sages, is asking the Shuddha Goswami the question. And why is asking the Shuddha Goswami? Because Shuddha Goswami heard it from when Shukadev Goswami delivered the knowledge to Parikshit. So he was in the assembly, so he learned it and realized it. Therefore, Shaunak Muni is asking to deliver the message once again. So that is, and now if you look at the chapter name, it's called Appearance of Sri Narad, and next chapter is called Narad Muni instruct Vyasdev to write Srimad Bhagavatam. Instruction to the Srimad to Vyasdev. So basically, in short, Vyasdev was not very happy after writing Vedanta Sutra. So Narad Muni, his spiritual master, came and encouraged him to compile every Vedas into just Srimad Bhagavatam. So this chapter is Narad Muni comes. But before that, there are some questions. We all know that in the first canto we discussed there are primarily 6 questions has been asked. And the complete Srimad Bhagavatam is the answer of that 6th question. Apart from that 6 question, time to time you will see that there are some more and more questions is being asked. So we will go through the questions. But before that, those primary 6 questions we should all remember. Anybody remembers what are those questions that has been asked? The primary question.
What is the good for all people?
What is the highest benefit of all the humanity in all ages? Very good.
Sense of scriptures.
Essence of your scripture. Anybody else? What is the essence of second question was? What is the essence of all the scriptures? Third,
Why Krishna appeared?
why Krishna appeared in this material world? And then what are the different activities of Krishna? Fifth is what are the different activities of the incarnations of Krishna? That's why there are so many incarnations has been explained. We just got a glimpse into the previous chapter, that is third canto. So Krishna is the source of all incarnation, but we will see more and more as we go to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh cantos. And then what is that? And the last one is, where is the Dharma reside when Krishna disappear? And what is the answer? Is Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so with that, we now go to that. So we will just start from text 2. And I think that Srimad Bhagavatam verses are so nectarian. So maybe we will recite one time, not repeat too much just for the sake of time, but at least one time we will do. Saunaka Uvacha Shuddha Shuddha Mahabhagavato Vadanu Vadatim Vara Vadanu Vadatambara Katham Bhagavatim Punya Yaha Bhagavan Shukaha. Anybody wants to do just once?
Saunaka Uvacha
Saunaka Uvacha
Sutta Mahabhaga
Sutta Sutta Mahabhaga Vadano Vadadambara
Bhagavatim Punya
Katham Bhagavatim Punya
Yadaha Bhagavan Chukaha.
Yadaha Bhagavan Shukaha. Translation. Shaunaka said, O Shuta Goswami, you are the most fortunate and respected of all those who can speak and recite. Please relate the pious message of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by the great and powerful sage Shukadev Goswami, Parpat, by his divine grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shuta Goswami is twice addressed hearing by Shaunaka Goswami out of great joy because he and the members of the assembly were eager to hear the text of Bhagavatam uttered by Shukadev Goswami. They were not interested in hearing it from a bogus person who would interpret in his own way to suit his own purpose. Generally, the so-called Bhagavatam reciters are either professional readers or so-called learned impersonalists who cannot enter into the transcendental personal activities of the Supreme Person. Such impersonalists twist some meaning out of Bhagavatam to suit and support impersonalist views, and the professional reader at once go to the 10th canto to mis-explain the most confidential part of the Lord's pastime. Neither of these reciters are bona fide person to recite Bhagavatam. Only one who is prepared to present Bhagavatam in the light of Sukadev Goswami, and only those who are prepared to hear Sukadev Goswami and his representative are bona fide participants and in the transcendental discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can see that there are two terminology come, bona fide speaker and bona fide recipient. So bona fide speaker means one who bona fide spiritual master or bona fide speaker has 3 qualities. Majorly 3 qualities. Of course, Kanai Thakur has told, if you remember, there are 10 qualities of a bona fide spiritual master and the bona fide disciples, but I'll just take the 3 that Srila Prabhupada many times emphasized. First, Evam Param Paraprapta. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 2, he should be in the disciplic succession, not like Tom and Harry will come and then they will say, oh, I got self-realization. Yesterday I got a dream of God, and from today I am a guru. No. Evam Parampara. That should be authentic disciplic succession should come. Second, he should practice what he preach. It's not that we preach something, but we practice differently. And third is he should be self-realized. So you see, Shuddha Goswami has all the qualities. Therefore, Shaunak Muni accepted him as the bona fide speaker. But at the same time, we should be bona fide audience also. And what is the bona fide audience means? We should be attentive and eager for hearing. As we discussed, until unless we do not have a real thrust and eagerness of the hearing, it will not work. It is not a time pass. It is not an entertainment. It is a serious topics we are discussing. So therefore, we should be very, very attentive and eager. So that eagerness should be there. As well as he should follow what he heard. That is, he should try to follow the spiritual master. Guru Mukha Padma Bhakka Chittete Koriya Vikko. So we should try to follow what we hear or what we got instruction. So those are the qualification of the bona fide master and the bona fide disciple. And once this bona fide master and bona fide disciples are there, then Krishna and Krishna's blessing is transferred from the spiritual master to the heart of the disciple. It is not the question of information. It is the question of realization. The wisdom means the realization of the information. Spiritual realization, spiritual knowledge is not a question of how much we know and recite or pronounce and remember verses, but what is the essence we get it. That's why you will see so many, I heard from so many Prabhupada's disciples that there are so many Bhagavad Gita they have read, but like His Holiness Prabhupada Swami Maharaj was saying that he has read 17 Bhagavad Gita before reads Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. But when Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita he read, then he understood he has not understood anything. So why? Because this is not a professional reader. Another important thing is that somebody may say, oh, Srimad Bhagavatam is nectarian. How does it matter who speaks? It matters. Srila Prabhupada gave example, milk are very pure, right? But when a snake or when a serpent, let's say, touch the milk, it becomes poison. The same milk becomes poison. So we should be very careful from whom we are reading. Srila Prabhupada especially says that impersonalists who actually twist some of the verses and try to propagate only those verses, emphasize only those verses. I know one organization, without taking the name, they only translated Bhagavad Gita up to chapter 10. Because from 11 the Vishwarupa comes, right? That becomes difficult. So that from impersonalism, that becomes difficult to explain. So up to 10 somehow they explain. So you see, the motive is how to put our agenda or our thought process rather than telling the truth, right? And then somebodies who are professional, they want to make people enjoy, some spices, something, otherwise people will be bored. So they are professional readers. So they directly go to the 10th canto. Srila Prabhupada many times says we should go canto by canto, because up to 9th, up to 9th canto, it actually creates the heart to accept, to go through the 10th canto to accept Krishna in our heart. Even if you look at the canto 2, it says that until unless we are not free from the sex desire, we should not even cross canto 2. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, he has given Krishna book and others, even considering us the fallen conditions. So we should be very careful not to look at Radha Krishna's affair as a mundane affair between boyfriend and girlfriend. So therefore, it is very important that we should choose a bona fide speaker, just like Shuddha Goswami was the bona fide speaker. Another important thing is coming out is called glorification. It is he's saying that you can speak and recite, you are very fortunate. So he is glorified. Now, this is a very important thing. Generally, if you see, our mind wants to criticize. Why? Because when we look forward, We can't see our back, but we can see the back of others, right? So our mentality is always, don't take it personally, just, concentrating on people like me, that our mentality is just to look just to look the good things in mine and bad things in others, right? This is our mentality, criticize. If you look at the 10 offenses, one of the most important offenses, that first offense come to blaspheme the devotee, or to criticize the devotee who have dedicated their life in propagating the holy name of the, and Krishna never tolerates, right? This is Chaitanya Chaitamrita, there are so many examples. Krishna never tolerates it. Therefore, we should be very careful when we are dealing with the devotee. Now, but this is Kali Yuga. We, for billions and trillions of life, we have been trained to do that. How suddenly in one life it will go away? It's difficult. Therefore, Abvashinahi Kaunteya, we need to practice. But how do we practice? The Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually gave the 10 counteraction of all the 10 offenses that has been mentioned. And the first counteraction of criticize is glorify. Although our tongue will not, our mind will say, no, let's glorify ourselves. But we should train our mind to glorify of the devotees, because when we glorify, we actually open our heart. Therefore, you will see that throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many prayers, so many glorification. There are glorification from Shiva, Brahma, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prachitas, Indra, everywhere there are prayers and glorification. Why? Because by this glorification, our heart gets purified. It's very important that we glorify. Last time I remember when Srila Prabhupada's Vash Puja, this time, many devotees came and offered their prayers to Srila Prabhupada. That is very wonderful. Whatever Srila Prabhupada has done for us, we cannot actually repay, but at least we can put our little gratitude by glorifying such exalted devotee, and therefore we open our heart. So you will see even another thing, that is Bhagavad Gita 4.34, right? Tadvitti pranipatena pariprashnena shevaya upotekshanti te ganam jnanina sattvadarshina. So one thing is that we glorify, another thing is that our mood of inquiry should be humble and submissive. Many times you will see that your friends might be challenging you rather than trying to understand the real truth. That type audience, you just distribute prasad. There is no point of arguing or giving answer, because they will not be convinced. But our way of inquiry should be tadviddhi panipatena. Panipatena means surrendering. Pariprashnena seva. So you want to give service and we want to do pariprashnena, means when the inquiry should happen, it should happen through the submissive nature. I am very eager to know the truth. Oh, please, Shuddha Goswami, you are learned, so please tell us the truth. This is a submissive nature. This is a receptive nature. Yes, I don't know, I want to know. So until unless we are not submissive, until unless in our mind we are envious, this will not be imparted in our heart. Spiritual knowledge cannot be imparted in our heart. Krishna cannot come into the heart where there is a tinge of enviousness. So all through our life, it is our practice, through chanting, to service. What is a service mean? Service means to be humble and who serves? Master never serves the servant. Service should be done by the servant to the master, right? So whenever we are doing a service, which means I accept that my position and I want to please you, serve you. When we have this mentality, then only this spiritual knowledge will flourish, will be actually, otherwise it will be a bunch of our information only. Okay, so with that, let's go to the other thing. So this is the mood of questioning. Now we will start with the questions that, anybody wants to do that? Anybody wants to read? Recite, please. No? Okay, I will just do. Kasmin uge praviteyam
Yuge pravritteyam
stani baki na hetuna
nadevakena hetuna
uta sanchodita Krishna
uta sanchodita Krishna
kritri kritvavan samhitam muni.
kritavan samhitam vi.
Translation by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In what period and what place was the fast begun, and why was this taken up? From where did Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile this literature? But because Srimad Bhagavatam is the special contribution of Srila Vyasdev, there are so many inquiries by the learned Saunuka Muni. It was known to them that Srila Vyasdev had already explained the text of Vedas in various ways up to Mahabharata for the understanding of less intelligent women, Shudras, and fallen members of the family of twice born men. Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental to all of them because it has nothing to do with anything mundane. So the inquiries are very intelligent and relevant. So that is last line is also significant in my opinion. Your inquiry should be intelligent and relevant. You should know what should be asked. It's not that we assembled here and we discuss what's going on in this market and all. Of course, we can do a little bit, but our main goal or main inquiry should be spiritual inquiry. So the inquiry should be very intelligent and relevant. So the thing is that, right, we have reached some Jojo, and then there is an Upanishad, there is a philosophy line, and there is a story or pastime line. The philosophy line is called Upanishad. The summary of Upanishad is called Gita Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita. And then Puran, there are 18 Purans, and then there are some Puran, and then there are Samhita, Upasamhita. And then ultimately, it is Vyasdev written Vedanta Sutra. That is the summary of the Vedas. But after writing also, now why he has done such a elaborate thing? Because he has to cover every kind of people. The people who want material happiness, the people who want heavenly happiness, the people who want moksha or liberation, the people who want the spiritual wisdom. So for all kind of people, he actually accommodated in the Vedas. So different, and then even Puran also, you will see the mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, and mode of passion. There are 3 types of Purans are there. In 666, 18 Purans. Therefore, sometimes, Shiva Bhaktas will say, oh, it is written in Shiv Puran that Shiva is the God. Yes, Shiva is the God to the people who are in the mode of ignorance. Right? So you need to see that for different kind of people, he has actually written the Veda in such a way that everybody gets a benefit and little advancement happens. Instead of completely saying that either you are devotee or 0, 1 or 0, you have little to do. Either okay, you are a soul and then you work in a Brahmajyoti, or you do some yagna, because ultimately chapter 3 Bhagavad Gita said, who is the enjoyer, who is the ultimately enjoyer is that Vishnu, right? So when you do some yagna or puja for Dev Devi, then you get little advancement. Yesterday I went to Durga Puja, Bengalis, right? So there is some Anjali, okay, and I was listening to the verses that he's speaking. He started with, and the priest starts with, Om Namo Vishnu, Namo Vishnu, Namo Vishnu, Om Apavitra, Pavitrava, Sarvavastan, Gato Viva, Jakshare, Pundarikaksha, Shavajya, Abhantara Shuchihi. So he starts, if you know Om Apavitra, Pavitrava, that verse means whenever we are, whether we are Apavitra or Pavitra, whenever we think of the lotus eye of Krishna, we becomes externally or internally cleansed. So this is a prayer to Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. So the point what I'm trying to say, unless you do not offer or do puja or offer your bhogas to Krishna or Vishnu, even demigods, the Durga, Ganesh, Shiva, any worship you will see, it starts with the worship of the Vishnu. because Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Problem is, we don't want to understand the mantras. Neither the priest might be ready to tell us the inner meaning of the mantra, and we are fighting between the demigods and gods, right? But if you look at the Vedas, the way it has been structured, it is very clear. So those people who are still in the Rajaguna, they can buy offering the Durga Devi, and because they are offering for first from Vishnu and then Durga Devi, by taking that prasad, you can steal little animals. So that's the way Veda is structured. That's why Veda is also structured how to do the sacrifice of the animal. But sacrifice of the animal is that by doing the sacrifice, you give a new birth to the animal, and by taking that animal flesh, you fulfill your thrust of eating flesh, but at the same time you get elevated slowly. So this is the thing. But then problem is that, as usual, we will try to take the things which we like, and we will try to reject the things which we don't like. Therefore, it's so confusing, so many opinions and all. Therefore, that is the situation when Vyasdev was so morose. What did I do? And Narad Muni came, and you will see the next chapter. Narad Muni really little bit chastised in a sweet voice that whatever you have done is confusing. So now you compile something, and it is written. Something you read, it is written that Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental and through all of them, and because it has nothing to do anything mundane. So Srimad Bhagavatam does not talk about what you like. Try to kind of tell it to the sweet voice. No, direct. Dharma pachida kaitava hatra parama nirmat sharanam sharam. In the koitava dharma. Whatever the cheating religions, whatever these religions is going on in the name of religion, Srimad Bhagavatam rejects and directly establishes Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's it. Whether you accept it, not accept it, it's up to you. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because if you don't, if Vyasdev didn't put that, then people will be fighting each other. We are clueless, conclusionless. So he concluded that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ete chansho kalapungsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That's it. And our goal of life is to develop the Krishna consciousness. Those who want to do the demigod culture, they can do. But for us, we know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. And it's like a direct entry. That's why Bhagavatam is known as Nigama Kalpataru Galitam Phalam Shukho Mukadamrita Dava Sanghitam Pivata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhurau Rashika Bhubi Bhavuka. Bhagavatam, Veda is known like a tree. Kalpataru is like a desire tree. Why desire tree? Because it can give you many fruit. If you want to go to heaven, you want to get a beautiful wife, yes. You want to go to wealth, yes. All the yagna, all the demigod worship, everything is mentioned. But if this is the desired tree, the fruit of the desired tree is called Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is more nectarian because Shukadeva Goswami has recited it. Just like how you will know that fruit is a ripened fruit or not? When the parrots bite it. You know that if the parrots bite a fruit, parrots only bite if that fruit is ripened. They will not write. So that's a proof. So Shukadeva Goswami is actually tested and recited that. That's why it becomes more and more nectarian. Okay, so that is, it will be more elaborated later, but that is the context in which Srimad Bhagavatam has been compiled under the instruction of Narad Muni by Vyasdev. Okay, so
I know we discussed this before, but I forgot. What is the meaning of twice born men?
Twice born men is Dijo Bandhu, twice born, Dijo Bandhu. So first born is our physical birth, like from our parents, but the real birth is the birth when you take a shelter of spiritual master.
I think that is Dvija, but this Bandhu is those who are born in.
No, that is Dija. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Thank you for correcting. Yeah. So that is called Dija, which is Brahmins when they have the thread, they surrender. So that is called Dija. And Dija Bandhu means who are friend of Dija, but they are not following that standard. Okay, sorry, yeah, my bad. Thank you for correcting. Okay, so we will go to the next one. Tasya putro mahayogi
पुत्रो महायोगी
samadri nirvikalpaka
निर्विकल्पकः
ekantomatir unnidra
एकान्तमते नेत्रो
gudo mudha ivaete.
गूढो मूढैते
Translation: his son. So now we will start this asking question and discussing about, not discussing, but mainly question. This part is for questions only about Shukadev Goswami. Okay, because last verse was mainly for which context Bhagavatam was spoken. But the answer of these questions will be done into the later part of this chapter. Okay, these are only questions. Vasudeva's son was a great devotee and equibalanced monist whose mind was always concentrated in monism. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. Purport: Shukadev Goswami was a liberated soul, and thus he remained always alert not to be trapped by the illusionary energy. In the Bhagavad Gita, this alertness is very lucidly explained. The liberated soul and the conditioned soul have different engagement. The liberated soul is always engaged in progressive path of spiritual attainment, which is something like a dream for the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul cannot imagine the actual engagement of the liberated soul. While the conditioned soul thus dreams about spiritual engagement, the liberated soul is awake. Similarly, the engagement of a conditioned soul appears to be a dream for the liberated soul. A conditioned soul and a liberated soul may apparently be on the same platform, but factually they are differently engaged, and their attention is always alert, either in sense enjoyment or in self-realization. The conditioned soul absorbing matter, whereas the liberated soul is completely indifferent to matter. This indifference is explained as follows. So, can you, it says, right, Bhagavad Gita explain that. Is there, can you remember or can you find any Bhagavad Gita verse? 2.6. Yes, let's open that, which is night for the spiritualist is the day for the materialist, and which is day for the materialist is the which is the night for the materialist is the day for the spiritualist. Let's open that. This is actually the same thing. Yanisha Sarva Bhutana. What is night for all beings is the time for awakening for the self-control, and the time for awakening for all beings is night for introspective sages. Basically, what is day mean? Day means when we do some activities, right? So for the spiritualists, day means when they are engaged in the spiritual activity, spiritual inquiry and all. But those material people does not like. So for them, it's like a night dream. But for materialist people, they like to enjoy the sense gratification. Therefore, for them, that is the day activities. But for the spirituality, they are simply uninterested, right? So for them, that is like a night. Night means people don't do anything, and day means people do the things. So what is day for the spiritualist is the night for materialist, and what is day for materialist is the night for the spiritualist, because both of them has the different interest. Now, why this is told? Because Shukadev Goswami was completely liberated. In fact, we can see in the next verse the level of detachment he has while he was passing by some area. There was some pond, and then there are some ladies who are bathing, and they didn't care when he was going. But when Vasudev was going, they tried to cover their naked body. Why? Because that Shukadev Goswami was such a liberated, unattached person, ignorant to the complete material things, like an innocent child. We will see that next verse. But this is what is the level of Shukadev Goswami. Now about Shukadev Goswami, you know, Shukadev Goswami his birth is also and the life is also interesting. Shukadev Goswami did not come out from the mother's womb for 16 years. Can you imagine? 16 years, mother has to bear the child inside the womb. He is not ready to come out. Why? Because if he thinks if he comes out, he will be entangled in the Maya. So he is afraid, right? He doesn't want to come out. Then Vasudev has to request to Krishna, because it's unbearable, right? How much time that wife will, Vasudev's wife will take that pain. But then Krishna came, and then Krishna promised, you will not be affected by the material entanglement. And then he became ready to came out. But as soon as he was born, he started running. And then Vasudev was, because he was completely grown up, right? 16 years, you can say. He's a completely grown up boy, but his mind is completely innocent and unattached. So he started started running away, because he doesn't want to do all those scriptures, material things, because he thought it's a material. So Vasudev, but we know that Shukadev Goswami delivered Bhagavatam. He was a pure devotee. But he initially was in the liberated stage, in an impersonalist. Just like 4 Kumaras was impersonalist, by taking the smell of the tulasi of the lotus feet of Lord, they become devotee. Shukadev Goswami was also impersonalist. But then Vasudev sent his disciples. So what these disciples did, they chanted the then kirtan, do the kirtan of, or chanted or glorify about Krishna's pastime. So they chanted 2 important verses. By hearing that, Shukadev Goswami mind changed, and he changed from impersonalist to the devotee, and he came back to Vasudev and he studied Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how he learned Srimad Bhagavatam, and they delivered to Parikshit Maharaj. Now, what is this 2 important verse? Very interesting verse. First verse, it says that about the beauty of Krishna. If you look at Krishna today, how beautiful is, right? No? Who the damn person will leave it and go think of the impersonalism? You know, look at this. What is there? You know, so when he heard that verse which talks about Krishna's beauty, wearing the peacock, wearing the yellow, yellow color is Krishna's most desired color. You know why? Because Radharani's color is yellow. Yellow is golden, like molten golden. So he's wearing a molten golden colored dress. He is wearing a peacock, and he was wearing a Vaijanti Mala. This verse actually tells you. I am not going to the verse, but it's Vaijanti Mala. You know what is Vaijanti Mala? Vaijanti garland is a garland which is made of minimum of 5 fragrant flowers. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it says that we should not offer Krishna any flower without a fragrance. But unfortunately, we don't have that kind of liberty to have that kind of flowers. So Krishna massively accept. But gopis actually used to make the garland with minimum of 5 flowers having a full fragrance, and that is called Vaijanti Mala, and that is where Krishna wears. And then Krishna's threefold form, Krishna's flute, all those are explained in that verses. By hearing that verses, his mind changed. And also, there's another verses that is more powerful. Not only she is beautiful, but he is so merciful, he's so kind. Tell me, the height of Krishna's kindness. Think of one situation where Krishna, of course, Krishna has shown unlimited thing where he showed kindness. Give one example, what you can think. Yes, Mother. Yes, Shishupal was there. That is also, yes, true. Putna, yes. Think of Putna, he came to kill Krishna. But just because she feed Krishna in the mood of a mother, Krishna did not look the inner intention, but look at the execution, means whatever you executed. And not only that, Putna was not liberated. Shishupal marched in Krishna's body, Shadrija Mukti. But Krishna gave Putna Golok Vrindavan. The highest award, where you cannot even enter without having the Raganuga, the spontaneous love. Everybody is hankering to go there. And Krishna gave Putna that form because Krishna accepted the execution mentality that you came to feed me rather than the intention. That's why sometimes, right, when we go out, last time, right, we know when we go to Sankirtan, Balabhadra Kripa Prabhu was singing and he was saying Hare Krishna to everybody. All the even Western people and Eastern people, Asian people, everybody. Some people said Hare Krishna, some people like wave, and some people just ignoring. But some people looked and smiled. But whatever little thing externally they do, Krishna will definitely. And that is the success of our going out to Sankirtan. We don't expect that we do Sankirtan and the world will be changed. But at least something will be in the attention of Krishna. This person, Western person, even if this is a Western person, don't even know Krishna, don't even hear Hare Krishna, don't even pronounce it, at least waves my devotee. Waves their hand to my devotee, at least smiled to my devotee. External consciousness, okay, even if internally they might be like, oh, what's going on here? So Krishna will recognize it. Krishna, that is Krishna's kindness. And by hearing that height of this kindness, Shukadeva question, what am I doing with impersonalism? So it's my change. So that's why we should hear the glorification. Rukmini in 10th canto, 52 chapter, Rukmini Devi never saw Krishna. But she was mad in Krishna. If I have to marry only Krishna, otherwise this Shishupal and all, I will suicide. His father Rukmi, no, you can't marry to Krishna. You have to marry to Shishupal, right? That story will come in 10th canto. But Krishna, Rukmini Devi wrote a letter, probably the first love letter, in the history of Vedas. So it went to Krishna through a Brahmin, and then Krishna came and rescued. All those things happened by only listening the glories of Krishna. We say that we have to develop the love of Krishna. But love will come how? Can I love someone without knowing someone? It's very difficult, right? At least I don't know how to do that. But you have to know someone. Okay? You have to know someone to love someone. And if we don't hear about Krishna, how we will develop the attraction? And without the attraction, where is the question of love? And without the love, the service will be mechanical. Right? That's why it's called devotional service. Service with love. But to love, we need attraction. To attraction, we need to understand Krishna's Roop, Nam, Gun, Lila. And then only we will be attracted. We can't be attracted with this wall, right? We can't be, or maybe Nishingodev is listening to us, sorry. But we can't be. It's Prahlad Maharaj can do. He can see everywhere Krishna. Like water vapor is everywhere in this room. But we can't quench our thirst from water vapor. We have to go to where is my liquid water. We need to come to temple. We need to see Krishna's beauty. Then only it comes in our heart. Then also it forgets when we go out. But still, at least for 1 hour, it comes in our heart. So we need something tangible to understand Krishna, relate Krishna, feel attraction for Krishna, develop the love of Krishna, and therefore try to do little service for Krishna. Right? So that is why it is very important to read, to hear the glorification. More you will read, more you will understand, more you will be attached, more you will be attracted. More you will be attracted, more you will love. More you will love, more you will do service. More you do service, more you will love. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. So it's like, it's like goes into circle. So, more you love, more you service. More you serve, more you love. Like that, So the thing is that Shukadev Goswami got changed and then he learned from Vyasdev. I think time is up, but I just want to point one more important thing. That in our so-called Vedas, there are 4 things mentioned, right? Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. I think everybody must have heard that. Dharma, Artha, what is the goal of a life? You ask everybody outside, Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. So what is the highest goal? Is Moksha or Mukti or liberation. Why Moksha is the highest goal? Because this world is filled up with all the problems. Even if a billionaire, he has to become old, has to become diseased, and has to die. So this Jarma Mittu Jara Vyadhi, birth, old age, death, Jarma Mittu Jara, and then birth, old age, death, and disease. These are inevitable, even to a billionaire. Therefore, the goal of the life is somehow or other get liberation so that you don't come back. But liberation is not the highest goal. That is a teaching of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. It says beyond the mukti, there is bhakti. So the famous verse came in that Srimad Bhagavatam, and that has been discussed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while discussing with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was an impersonalist scholar, Vedanta Sutra scholars in Jagannath Puri. And he has so many disciples. So he saw Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri temple, and looking at his ecstasy, he understood that he is a very learned person. So, I mean, he's a very good devotee. So he brought him and he take care and serve him. But then Gopinath Acharya, who is basically sister's husband, and then he saw, oh, he's God. But Sarvabhauma said, no, how is it God? How is it possible? No. But then there was a discussion of the Vedanta Sutra. So that famous one from Srimad Bhagavatam came. So I just touch base. And this is a very, very important thing. He says, Atto Ramascha Munaya Nirganta Piurukrame Kurbanti Ahetu Kim Bhakti Itiham Bhutva Gunahari. Atto Ramascha. Atma means soul. Ramascha means pleasure. Those who takes pleasure in the soul. That means those who are self-realized. They are not interested into others. Nirgantha Virukrama. Nirgantha means it's completely nirgantha. That means there is no attachment in the material attachment. But still, Kurbanti Ahetuki Bhakti. But still they take pleasure in doing the bhakti. Ahetuki Bhakti. Ahetuki means without any cause, just selfless love. Ityam Bhutva Gunahari. By hearing the qualities of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, they get attracted. So even the liberated soul is actually becomes interested in loving devotional service when they hear the qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, this verse clearly says that there should be some higher thing from the mukti, that is called bhakti. Srila Prabhupada, we can take an example, right? Let's say there is something called, let's say, minus infinity to plus infinity, and then it crosses just zero. So we may be, because of our material action, previous life action, we may be someone is minus 1,000, someone is minus 100, someone is minus 200. The karmis who are materialist, right? And they are enjoying and suffering based on the previous karma. When we actually understand we are not the body but the soul and try to be detached, at that stage we come to zero, which means we actually cease the karmic action. But it's not the zero is the goal. We have to go beyond zero, which is devotion. Prabhupada gives example. Let's say a prisoner, he's in a very miserable condition, right? Now that prisoner, let's say he does a very good job or very good service, the jailer appeals to president and the prisoner gets released. So that's a good thing. First, from the prisoner house, you get released. But after release, what you will do? If the jailer helps him to establish in a stable life, that is the success, right? So it is not the cessation of our material condition, but what we do next is most important. So it is, one thing is that we are suffering, how to go out of suffering. And then from there, what will take me to feel the pleasure. So not only we want to get out of the problem, but we want to get into the pleasurable condition, which is actually bhakti. Therefore, bhakti is much higher than mukti. That is what the realization of four Kumaras, Shukadev Goswami, and that is throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see that is again and again discussed, that bhakti is more and more important than mukti. And because you do bhakti, now because if the prisoner wants to settle down in their life outside, they have to go out of the prisoner. So when you go to the bhakti, mukti is embedded. So by doing the bhakti, mukti is embedded. That's why Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Kito jarma hok jatha tu adash bahirmukha brahma jarme nahi kono ash. So even if I don't get liberated, but I still want to be an insect and into the house of a devotee, because then we get to Krishna Prasad, right? Okay, so that is the sole purpose. So we just finished 1.4.4. Sorry, 1.4.4. I think time is up. So I just want to we can discuss later. Let's not hurry and skip something. Okay, let's go slowly. I thought that's the way. Otherwise, we may cover the thing, but we may not get into it. Right. Okay, so we can start. Another speaker will start from 1.4.5. I just want to say, you maybe keep on hearing from me again and again, and please don't get pissed off with me. But what I feel is that whenever we read this, whenever we hear this, we understand the potency, right? When we understand the potency, we want to share this potency also. We have a Live to Give campaign. Marathon campaign is coming in December. Actually started October, November, December. Where we distribute the Bhagavad Gita, and you all know that is called Srila Prabhupada's very famous Prabhupada Marathon. All over world they are distributing Bhagavad Gita. So you can also donate Bhagavad Gita or take one book, at least one book. I will humbly request, and give it to others. But before that, we actually started the campaign called Read, Distribute, and Cultivate. So it is not only, we have been distributing, but we also urge everyone to read Bhagavad Gita. This year, the ISKCON Calgary has actually taken Bhagavad Gita chapter 12 as a theme. You know that kids are practicing the recitation, they will have the quiz. So, a lot of things are going to happen in the Gita day. So we urge as a team of ISKCON Calgary, please take some time out. It's just a 20 verses, 30 pages. You can read weekly 2-3 pages, and it will finish by December 31st. So read Bhagavad Gita, at least one chapter by this time. Even if you have finished reading, there is no harm to read one again, because more you dip, more you get the nectar, right? And then if you have not covered the other chapters, still you can read, because as a team, we want to commit Srila Prabhupada that at least 200 or 100-200 devotees has read it, and then at least you try to distribute one, and whoever you are distributing, just don't throw or just don't forgive it and forget. Try to cultivate, try to take their personal number or email or whatever way, you can cultivate throughout the year to come, right? You can make friendship, you can invite into temple, invite in our Sunday school, Sunday class or Saturday class, connect to our online classes. There are online classes. If required, we can increase the online class. It is very, very important that we read, we distribute, and we cultivate. That is the culture that ISKCON is having all over world. And that culture we want to promote. We have been distributing, we have been reading and all, but let's do it in a more mass scale. Let's be our culture, embedded culture in our blood. More you read, more you will be inspired to distribute. More you distribute, more you'll be inspired to cultivate. And more you cultivate, more you get the inspiration to read more. Right? Because whenever you cultivate, there will be question, and we will discuss that. That is how in this process you will grow as an individual also. So, and that is, I think, our simple gratitude to the tireless effort Srila Prabhupada has done just by sleeping 2 hours. Can you believe it? Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 335 chapters, 18,000 verses, 18 books, 12 cantos. Srila Prabhupada, and similarly Chaitanya Charitamrita, all those things Srila Prabhupada has written or translated, timeless effort. Not that he is doing it from childhood. At the age of 70s, he started that, right? So you can understand how much tireless effort he has done. Just 2 hours he used to sleep, just for others. So just to show the gratitude as a culture, being in ISKCON, please and please, be a part of this. There is a link. to you just do that. That link is basically a little commitment to Srila Prabhupada, and we are going to announce the names offer it to not announce, when we offer to Srila Prabhupada that 200 devotees actually read Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita, try to cultivate. It's not the question is how much you could cultivate or how much you do. If you remember the story of a squirrel and the Hanuman, right? It's not the question of quantity. As we discussed the mercy of Krishna, it's not the what you could achieve for Krishna. It's the question is that even for the external effort, Krishna is recognizing. What to talk about the internal intention, right? So this is a humble effort to Srila Prabhupada to bring this culture and to do so as a team of ISKCON Calgary to offer something to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada to make him happy. Because if devotees are happy, then Krishna will be happy. With this, I will just say thank you very much once again for coming and hearing. And please forgive me any mistakes. Anything I told you that makes you feel good, it's a credit to my Guru Maharaj. Because of his mercy, I'm here. And if something I said wrong, please consider it's my ignorance and mistake. Thank you very much. All glories to Shri. And I could ask if somebody has any reflection. Yes.
Great class from you. So, probably just a quick clarification on the previous verse that you can do.
Yes.
The purport probably, or maybe I don't know which verse number it is. So maybe I asked that question. Like, I think in the purport it was saying like the woman is less intelligent, but why not men?
Okay. They 1.4.4. Yeah.
143.
143. No, I'll just go. Understanding of the less intelligent woman. Yeah. Okay. What is your question specifically?
So why only woman is less? Why not men? Men is also.
Everybody is unintelligent in Kolika. Mando sumando mataya mando vago ipadruta. But generally in Bhagavad Gita also you will see that this terminology has been used. Don't take it as a biasness to any gender. Okay. In general, woman has certain qualities, men has certain qualities. Or in general, women are more emotional, right? I mean, with all the due respect, that's why it is very easy to cheat women in the world. Don't take it otherwise. Because it is a fact, woman is emotion. But if there is no emotion, how woman could be a mother? If mother doesn't have emotion, then he cannot be a mother. Right? So everything God has given the qualities, and it is any very highly general, not to very specific. Even in the Vedas also there are so many talented women. That there are 5 women who are like Draupadi, Kunti Devi. See the intelligence of Kunti Devi, prayers of Kunti Devi. So how is that women are, in general, okay, the mass people are, it's said that it's more emotional. Because it's emotional, sometimes they put emotion as a higher priority than intelligence. Okay. Whereas men are little, how a man, that they put, no, be practical, be intelligent. No, we can't do that. But woman becomes emotional. That's why women are chosen to become mother. Right? And that's why there is Prabhupada said that in this material world, there is only one relation which is towards the pure love. That is the love between mother and a child. Even father cannot love like that. All the love, all the other relations are selfish. But so what I mean to say is that this is in general topic, but in our Kali Yuga, we should say everybody is unintelligent, everybody is disturbed, everybody is fallen. So we should not discriminate. In our culture of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada has never discriminated it. But this is the general idea. And if somebody is very emotional and doesn't want to go too much intelligent thing or activity, what generally they do? They read the stories. That's why Mahabharata is given. But again, it is in general. Okay, with all respect to the Matajis and the ladies here, Please don't take it as an offense, or please don't take it in otherwise. It's just a way, natural orientation of a man and woman is. Okay. But in ISKCON, everybody has a right. See, it's ISKCON. That's why, right? You will see the next verse. You will see the next verse. It is clearly explained by Srila Prabhupada that those who are learned, they do not cater. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane govi hastini shuni shaiva sabhakecha pandita samadarshina. Pandita samadarshina. Even Pandit means who is really knowledgeable. They do not differentiate man and woman, because man and woman is just a external gender difference. We are soul, and we are all a part and parcel of Krishna, and we are meant to serve Krishna. Therefore, when I was married, that time to Brahmachari came in our house, and he said, my wife, that now you have two patis, but the main pati is Jagannath Dev. Okay. So even if we are having a material relation of husband-wife, but we need to understand everybody of us is in the mood, whether male or female, in the mood of service nature to our actual husband or father or master is Krishna, because Krishna is the only and only enjoyer. So in that sense, we really don't care this. Okay. Does it answer somehow?
Yeah.
And maybe only Hari Prabhu can say something with his nectarian lips. Okay. If there is no other question, please honor the prasad. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.